เ welcome to Unity of Santa Barbara, our very own spiritual community center. Isn't it great to be alive? Aren't you glad you woke up this morning and said, oh my gosh, here I am and I still have purpose? How exciting is that? I feel like it's in every one of us. Let's all stand and sing It's in Every One of Us as Margaret Owens and the band in Woody are leading us through song. So.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us by and by. It's in every one of us to be free, right? Free. Find your heart, open around your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us here and now. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us by and by. By and by.
That felt so good, didn't it? Just felt wonderful. And thank you. See, you remain standing. So impressive. There's always one in the group. Let's affirm together our unity affirmation, kind of bringing in our collective energy together, shall we? Unity of Santa Barbara is a spiritual community center which touches hearts, awakens souls, and builds dreams. And on your way back down to your familiar chair, please say hello to someone and give your energy to them. Wasn't that a wonderful practice? Yes. Let's thank our band again, right? Woody and Randy and Renee. And let's thank our wonderful AV team. Yeah. And our ushers. And all of you that went to the parade yesterday and did all that sweating, and you still came over today to celebrate the universe and the divine. So give yourselves a round of applause, too. Of all the places that you could be today, you've chosen to be here with us. And I invite you to remind yourself, I need to do this myself from time to time, that this is an hour of self-care. This is a time that you give yourself, where there's no distractions and interruptions, and you're giving yourself your B12 shot for the week. And you are uplifting and remembering and reminding yourself of who you are and that you're sent here for a huge purpose. And the best purpose is to be yourself. In humanity, we want to make it hard, don't we? It's not hard. It's hard when you're not you. It's hard when you buy into beliefs that don't belong to you. It's hard when you've accepted that you're broken. None of us are broken. And that's what we love about the joy of unity and these teachings, is that you are whole and you are holy just as you are, from wherever you come from. What a concept. That's a clap right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And of course, I'd like to throw in there, and if you're over 30, there's a couple of you that are, at least, you no longer get to blame your parents. Okay? This is a journey of self-responsibility. And so we want to welcome everyone in person and online. I am ecstatic to have my Leo buddy here with us this morning in the house, TJ Woodward. Oh, yeah. You know, when he talks as well as he dresses, I mean, just look out, right? Just an honor always to have you. We always had him in Florida, and just a bright light he is. Last week, we had viewers from California, Florida, District of Columbia, Arizona, Washington, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Maryland, Louisiana, Georgia, Colorado, and Hawaii. Wow. And that's something. Mm-hmm. And online, other countries, Nigeria, New Zealand, hello Greg, Canada, Portugal, UK, Mexico, and Kenya. Wow, so we honor and appreciate them, and leave comments if they're good ones. Let us know what's going on in your life. We like to communicate and to be interactive. Last year, one of the individuals from Oak Cottage decided to start playing our services, and now we have 7 other communities, assisted living, that in their social time they are showing our services. So that is really, really awesome. And also, yes, we got the powerhouse voice today. Yeah. Margaret Owens, would you stand, please? Let us acknowledge you. She's a multi-talented singer-songwriter from LA. This is LA Day. And she has a table outside with some of her products. So give her some warm unity love after we are complete. For those of you that are with us for the first time today in the house, bless you, you're brave souls. And if you would stand, please, that's all we're going to ask you to do. If you would stand, let us acknowledge you. And say hello. We're delighted to have you. Thank you for being part of our community. If you would please share with her where the Welcome Center is, so we could get to know you better. And we also gift our guests with the ancient practice of the mala bead. So, thank you. So let us read our affirmation together. It kind of brings our intention together of our time, shall we? We are here to celebrate our spiritual magnificence. We gather together each week to honor our divinity and to bring life into our sacred story. We allow ourselves to receive the energy of the divine, while at the same time we are willing to let go of what no longer serves us. We celebrate free will and choice, and we know that life truly begins right now. Namaste. To me, that's the beauty of the Unity teaching. Any decision you make right now starts your life. Wow. Wow. Yes. All right. You can tell I haven't gotten out much this week, huh? Okay. We have a prayer box. We have chaplains. We have a prayer team. If you are one of those, would you please stand today? Our committed prayer team and our chaplains. Miss Campbell, Miss Shirley Campbell, matriarch, you are on our prayer team. Well, we named a chapel after you anyway, so there you go. So we appreciate the consciousness. We have so many angels that help with this community and volunteer, and we're very grateful. And we also want to honor our hospitality team. Often we don't mention them, but we sure are glad to see them after service, right? So let's give them some love. And now as we prepare for meditation, Margaret's going to lead us through song. And as you simply continue to feel the words of the song and you close your outer eyes, so your third eye may be activated. And just stay aware of your breath, even without consciously telling your body to breathe. It is naturally doing that for you. Great Spirit is forever giving of the breath of life to you. And just become mindful of your being, of your beautiful physical body temple that carries your soul from adventure to adventure. And if you haven't done so, if you will uncross and just put your feet firmly on the floor. And just become aware that underneath the floor is the earth. And just with intention, draw energy into the soles of your feet from the molten core of the earth. And just feel that energy lifting you up that energy coming through every cell and fiber of your being. It is wonderful medicine. You're bringing this energy up into your body, a pure energy of the divine that knows not a condition, knows not a memory, a story, a narrative, but simply is pure in its giving of itself. And take a deep breath in. Let it go. And you just begin to feel that every cell is awakening at a different level because you have given it the intention of doing so. All is well in my soul. Say that with me. All is well in my soul. And just feel that settling in. Wow. Just to be in that space of pure energy, of being thankful for all that you have, that all that Spirit has freely given to you, time and time and time again. Yet we must take. What a privilege it is that we are the hands and the heart and the blessing in this world. We affirm wholeness for everything and everyone. We affirm well-being. We bring the power of energy everywhere we go, for we are this lighthouse life force. Let's join Margaret one more time with We Are.
We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of Spirit on earth. Who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world.
And so it is. Amen.
How long am I gonna tell this story? How long am I gonna carry anger inside? I know I'm not holding the best thought for me, and I know there's gotta be a better feeling to find. So if I stumble, if I fall, let it be forward. Release the clutches of the conflicts and the absurd. I could just let it go. Let it go now, let it all melt away like ice cream on a summer's day, and trust the flow, yes, just let it go. And realize it's all gonna be okay now. So what if I lose my temper? I know where I can find peace again. I came here to be God expressing. And it is bliss when I connect deep within to that mighty presence, which is oneness, love, and light. It soothes my soul, it calms my heart, and sets me right, so I can just let it go. Let it go now, let it all melt away like ice cream on a summer's day, and trust the flow, yes, just let it go. And realize it's all gonna be okay now. Caught up in the crossfires of this challenging perception, I have let my mind go wandering where I should know better. But I do not need to know why I wandered or grieve the precious thoughts I squandered. I could claim the blessed gift of now and let my consciousness allow the gifts the lover wants to bring me, the very best of everything I could. Let it go. Let it all melt away like ice cream on a summer's day, and trust the flow, yes, just let it go. And realize it's all gonna be okay now. Let it go. Let it go now. Let it all melt away like ice cream on a summer's day. And trust the flow, yes, just let it go. And realize it's all gonna be okay now. Let it go. Let it go. Let it melt away like ice cream on a summer's day. I go.
Oh my goodness, can I hug you? That is so beautiful. Oh, wow, thank you. Wow, let's take a moment. You know, sometimes we just move from one thing to the next. So I want to invite us for a moment to really feel the energy and the frequency of that beautiful song, the lyrics, the energy, the talent that you brought, and say thank you once again. Whew, wow, and how appropriate, because honestly, everything that was in that song is pretty much what I've been called to share today. The title of my talk is Conscious Being. What does it mean to be conscious, and what is a conscious being? And I want to start by saying this, or asking this actually. What if this is the most enlightened you will ever be? Now what? Because if you're anything like me, and I absolutely loved that video with all those beliefs that the person had taped to them, and I walked around that way. I came into the world as an effervescent, infinite being, just like each and every one of us did. And we come into this world wide open and ready to receive and to give. And some of us receive love, some of us receive affirmations, some of us receive hugs, some of us also receive messages that maybe were not good enough. In my experience, I came in very, very much aware that I had chosen to be on planet Earth to be love. It was an innate knowing, an innate memory. And then I came into the world and started hearing messages like, boys don't walk that way. It's not okay to feel that. And I developed these ideas about myself that were limited. And the process of being born on planet Earth for me has become one of, what are those stories that it's time for me to let go of that no longer serve me and no longer serve the truth? And I love that Temple talked about self-care. I've never heard someone say a unity service is 1 hour of self-care. And I love that, because isn't that the truth? Thank you for that. And thank you for the invitation, my dear friend, Reverend Temple, and Reverend Kathy as well. I'm so honored, really, to be here and to be in the presence of love. And to be the presence of love. And when we think about self-care, we might think about caring for ourselves, and we might think about caring for ourselves physically, or mentally, or emotionally. But what is spiritual self-care? And maybe another way to say it is, which self are we caring for? Right? So my spiritual essence, the truth of who and what I am, just like the truth of who and what each of you is and are, is wholeness and perfection. We came in literally as an aspect, an emanation, an expression of the one power and the one presence. Recently, I spoke at a Unity, and this came through, and it was something that I had never thought before. Unity principles are inconvenient. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I have to be 100% accountable, because if I believe that it's true I create my reality, then I also must believe that it's true I create my reality. And nothing on earth is more painful than 99% surrender. And what are we surrendering to? There's really only one surrender that ever needs to happen. And that surrender is to knowing the truth of who and what we are. That our being is unharmed and unharmable. And regardless of what has happened and regardless of what we have done, that is the ultimate truth. That is the self. And guess what? That self might sound strange to say, it doesn't even need cared for. It is whole and complete and effervescent, and there's an endless and boundless energy that exists in our spiritual essence. And the only surrender that ever needs to happen is letting go of anything that is counter to the truth of that. And so life can be really difficult and complicated, or it can be really simple. Another way to say it is, life is difficult and complicated until the moment that it isn't. And the moment that it isn't complicated is right now. Because there is literally no other moment that has ever existed in time but this one. So it is true. This is the most enlightened we will ever be. Because guess what? We're all enlightened. I had someone ask me, do you really walk around only seeing love, only feeling oneness, only knowing your true nature, only radiating love into the world? And I said, well, yes, I do. But sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget that that is our natural state. There is no path to enlightenment. Enlightenment is already here. And when I understand that, and when I know that, and when I really understand, not understand in my mind, but understand in my experience, in my beingness, my own true nature, then I can start to let go of or dismantle or question every story I've ever been taught or believed that are counter to that knowing. And that is profoundly simple. In this moment, I know who I am. In this moment, I know what I am. I am an infinite being. And every idea that I've ever had that's counter to that can instantly dissolve with a decision. Our good friend Michael Beckwith says, we are not here to save the world, we are here to serve the new paradigm. And we are entering into a new paradigm right in this moment. And that new paradigm is oneness. That new paradigm is to understand who and what we are and radiate that we are not here to practice the law of attraction, because there is nothing to attract. It's already who and what we are. We are here in this new paradigm to practice the law of radiance, to be that love, to be that light, to be that joy, to literally be the presence of God, of Source, Buddha nature, love, whatever word we use. We are here to radiate that, and life is a great experiment. And I have discovered something very, very profound. When I do that, life reflects it back. So it does feel like we're attracting. But the old paradigm, and I'm going to speak for myself, this might not be true for you, but the old paradigm was there's something not quite right here, and once I attract the perfect partner, then I can be free. Once I get the perfect job, then I can be happy. Once I find the perfect minister, the perfect teacher, the perfect workshop, does anyone relate to this? Then I'll be enlightened. Once I work all these steps, or I do this, then I will be. And there's a greater reality. And that greater reality is you are already everything that you've ever sought. And that is true of every single human being. And the beliefs that we've picked up about ourselves that are counter to that seem to be part of the human journey. And we've been in a paradigm for many, many years now where we say we are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? Which is a great shift from where human beings have a spiritual experience. I woke up one day and thought, what if, because I love what if we're spiritual beings having a spiritual experience? What if there actually is no separation of what I call material, physical, mental, emotional, and spirit? What if it's all one? What if everything I've ever done and everything that's ever happened to me, and I'm using air quotes because I used to believe that it happened to me, and I love what Reverend Temple said about not blaming your parents, and I love that you gave everyone in their 20s permission to do it. Because I will tell you that in my 20s, it was my parents' fault. Everything was my parents' fault. They were horrible. How could they? How could they not see me? How could they not love me? How could she not be more loving? I chased that for a decade. If my mom could just be more nurturing, then I could be happy. My friend Gavin said, I used to blame my mother for my posture, and then I realized I can sit up straight. And it's a perfect example. Because for whatever reason, that frequency of blame, which is a very low vibration, was comforting. Because I could blame the world for the conditions of my life. I could blame my parents for not being there for me. I could blame society for not accepting me. And there was something so comfortable about it, but it kept me so small and so stuck. And there was something even comforting about being small and stuck, because then I didn't have to shine. Then I didn't have to take a risk. And then you wouldn't really see me. I believed that kept me safe. I walked into my first Unity community somewhere in the late 80s. I'm not always the best reporter of times. As a matter of fact, I did a whole talk talking about this profound spiritual experience I had in 2016 in India, and then walked away thinking, that was 2006. That was a whole decade earlier. So I don't know what time is, but I know that somewhere in the late 80s, I walked into my first Unity community. I had been someone who had read the Daily Word for quite some time, and I felt something that was magic in the air. And I heard something that was profound, and that profound teaching was thoughts create reality. Because I didn't know that yet. I thought the world happened to me, and I just needed to learn how to surrender to all of this blankety blank. What Unity gave me at that time was an understanding that I actually can create my life, that I can change my thinking and change my life. And so I set out for a decade to try to change the narrative, change the thinking. And it sounded something like this: oh, don't think that. Oh, no, the universe is going to get you. Right? I was in that for a while. In the late 1800s-ish, new thought came into awareness that brought a profound new consciousness onto planet Earth that ushered in the 20th century. And that was, we're no longer needing to surrender to a punishing God that's up there and out there, that we are the powerful creators of our own existence. And that we can change our thinking and change our life. We can actually move from being victims of the world to being in control of the world. Now, I'm using all of this language very consciously. Now we're entering into another new paradigm. And that paradigm is yes and. Yes, we can change our thinking and change our life. Yes, we can manifest the life of our dreams. Yes, it's true, we are no longer victims to the world, but we are creators of our existence. The new paradigm that's being ushered as we have moved into the 21st century is moving beyond that altogether. That it's not just about the intellect. It's about understanding that there's actually nothing to change, because the truth of who we are is love itself. And so the spiritual journey is twofold: dedicating ourselves to spending time in the silence and reconnecting, which isn't actually true because we've never disconnected from our true nature, but remembering and practicing the awareness of that which we truly are, that we are indeed infinite beings. And at the same time, pretty much unlearning everything else that we've ever been taught that's counter to that belief. And then we arrive at this new paradigm where we realize that the new paradigm is oneness. That we are not only creators of our own reality, but we're co-creators in the world. And I have this new phrase that came up last week, and that is co-curious. It just came out. We are here to be co-curious with one another because judgment restricts and curiosity expands. So when we talk about the evolution of consciousness, my dear friend Reverend Maureen Bass, I'm going to tell two stories. One story, hopefully my husband Will won't watch this because he's like, can you please stop telling that story? And I haven't told it in 3 years, just for the record, but I'm going to tell it. But first, I want to share a story. My good friend Reverend Maureen Bass used to say, consciousness is very simple. And she would take a whiteboard and just put dots all over the board. And she said, here is consciousness. She would draw a circle around 8 dots. This is what we can see based on our level of consciousness. Does it mean the other dots don't exist? No. It means this is all I can see based on my level of awareness right now. So spiritual practice is expanding and realizing there are 12 dots, there are 15 dots, there are 16 dots. And yet the truth is life is infinite. And as I expand my consciousness, as I raise my awareness through curiosity, through openness, I often say I'm studying to be a cop. Curious, open, and present. To be open to the infinite possibilities and to understand, as I've said, that enlightenment, what if it's not a process? What if there's not a finish line? What if we're not even here to grow spiritually? What? Spirit doesn't grow, it's infinite. I grow in awareness of my true nature. I grow in awareness of all the stories that I've been carrying that have kept me stuck. I facilitated a workshop a few years ago, and I invited people to carry a backpack, and we filled it with really heavy rocks. I mean, really heavy. And they were instructed to put the backpack on and stand in front of the room and tell the difficult stories of their lives. And all we instructed them to do was to feel the weight of those stories as they were sharing them, and then asking people in the room, what does it feel like when you hear that story? And then asking them, are you ready at this point to take the backpack off? And we had these really amazing experiences, everything from someone who took it, and I mean, when she dropped it, it was thud. She was ready to let that go. And someone else, I think with heart-breaking honesty, said, I think I want to keep it on for a while more. I'm not ready yet to move beyond this story. So sometimes our stories, our beliefs, our ideas, we now call it confirmation bias, right? Our unconscious biases, we know they create reality, but sometimes we're not ready yet to move beyond them. Maybe they are comfortable. Maybe there is something peaceful in a way, or it feels safe about staying stuck in this story and carrying that backpack. The choice is yours right in this moment. What is your decision? Do you want to hold the backpack? Do you want to carry it around and feel that weight? Or are you ready to take that backpack off and just notice what it feels like to live beyond all these stories and these ideas? And so the story I said I wasn't going to tell again, well, I didn't really tell him I wasn't going to tell it again. He just asked me to please stop telling this story, but it's in 2 of my books, and I love this story. So in the 1960s, I wasn't there. I wasn't there at the story. But in the 1960s, the Washington, D.C. Zoo was gifted a tiger from the government of India. And they brought this white tiger in to the zoo, and they were going to build her a lush, her name is Mohini, by the way, if you want to know. They were going to build her a lush environment. Everything a tiger would want to be free and to be happy. But in the short term, they had to put her in a 12 by 12 cage while they were building this lush environment. And because she was anxious, she made a circle 8 pattern in the 12 by 12 cage, and she did that as a way to manage the experience of being imprisoned. And they thought this isn't going to be long until we build this lush new environment. But days turned into weeks, turned into months, turned into years, and there were delays, and she was in that cage for many, many years in that same pattern. This is a true story, by the way. Although, we might embellish some things, but I don't think so. I think this is a true story. Finally, the day came, and her lush environment was built, and they took her out of the cage and put her in the environment, the beautiful, wide open spaces of infinite possibilities for her to play and to be her true self. And what do you think she did? Right. She went over to the corner, and she stayed in that crazy 8 pattern, and she stayed that until her death. And of course, we can say, what a sad story. And y'all know where I'm going with this story, right? In what ways are you right now standing in a lush environment of infinite possibilities, of creating a life filled with love, connection, awe, and wonder, and yet because at some point in your life you felt like you were trapped and you were in this crazy 8 pattern of repeating, of continuing to do the same things that have kept you limited, even though you might understand intellectually that the cage is no longer there. Are you in some way still in your crazy 8 pattern? And I love that term, right? Because I can see for myself, based on these core false beliefs, and I see it in each of us, that we're walking around in these patterns feeling stuck, when the truth is the world is infinite. So I just want to invite us for a moment to feel into that. And just imagine yourself in this environment right now, this infinite environment of waterfalls, of as much food as you want, as much play as you want, abundant. Just feel the energy of that. Feel the expansiveness of that. And now I want you to imagine that you're in that environment, but you're in this small part of it, in this crazy 8 pattern, staying with what feels safe and comfortable, even though you might know that the truth of who you are is infinite. And so what I'm inviting us to do today is to make a decision together. And only you in this moment know in your heart if you're ready to make the decision. The invitation is here, as it always is. The invitation at this moment is now to imagine that cage lifting and that you are in this incredible environment. Everything you've ever believed would make you happy isn't required for you to be free. You are already free. Life is infinite. The truth of who and what you are is God essence, a particle, a literal particle of source energy. When I was a very little kid, and this is what I'm going to close with, when I was a very little kid, I did have an awareness that I chose to be here on planet Earth. Because the tall people were teaching me this. You ready? Have you heard about heaven and hell? Oh, no. Tell me about heaven and hell. Well, if you're good, after you die, you go to heaven. And if you're bad, after you die, you go to hell. And hell, you stay stuck in this horrible, wretched experience. And I'm like, that didn't seem true to me. And quite frankly, it seemed really counter to my spirit. But I did have an awareness, and this is as a little kid, I didn't probably have words for it, but I had an awareness at that time that heaven is right now. And that hell can be right now too. Because I was at that age where I started becoming aware of the way I heard men talking about women or people talking about people of different races or war on TV, and I didn't understand why I was here. I didn't understand why the world seemed so challenging or difficult or heavy. And I had an awareness that there were some of us who had either chosen to be here or were chosen to be here to be the light and to be the love that the world requires. Isn't that wild? As a very little kid. And then, of course, that got taught out of me. But it's there, and it's the truth. And so I am inviting you at this moment to live beyond the 12 by 12 cage that either you have built or someone else tried to put you in or you have accepted or your past experiences have created a belief that that's all you're capable of. You are an infinite being. We are here to radiate love, to radiate light. That is who and what we are. So I want to invite you to simply repeat after me. I am love. I am light. I am here to radiate this love. I am here to radiate this light. Life is easy. Life is wonderful. I am chosen to be love, to be light. Oh, and this feels really good. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you,
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Well, you know we're doing the surprise abundance, yes? Have many of you continue to say the affirmation every day? If you do not have the form, it's at the Welcome Center, yes? And you can participate with us, whether you attend here or you're online. I've had several colleagues actually contact me, and they're doing it in their community now. It's something fun for the summer, right? Because part of what we teach in Unity is abundant living. And that's something to feel really good about. So this, in the last 2 weeks, our community, all of you collectively, have received $28,000. That was surprise money for you, yes? And that means that there's been a 10% contribution to us here at Unity. So yes, it's really wonderful. And a lot of fun for the summer. I don't know about you, I love miracles and surprises. Want more of them. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stick with the script before I break into song or something. All right, and look, this is not a standing crowd for teachers, so you own that. I'm telling you. No. So as our ushers are coming forward, this gets everybody clapping, too, because it's time for the offering. Yay! I'm so happy to give. All right. So please affirm with me our unity statement. Divine love through me muscles and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I share. Thank you, God.
There's nothing more powerful than the human soul on fire. Nothing else can propel you like your heart's deepest desire. I put it there for a reason. I consider it an act of treason to push it to the side. To live and not have tried, 'cause I know you're unlimited. You have got the power and means to live life uninhibited. You came to realize your dreams. Have you listen to how you talk to yourself in the mirror, better to close your eyes and go inside to see it clearer. I know that you are pure perfection. How about focusing on that reflection? The way is very clear. Release yourself from fear, 'cause I know you're unlimited. You have got the power and means to live life uninhibited. You came to realize your dreams. This is your life. Go on, go out and live it. Change it up, get sexy with it. There is love and excitement upon the breeze. There are magical moments for you to seize. Just remember, I love you and nothing's impossible. Change your beliefs and I swear you're unstoppable. You've got the power and means to live life uninhibited. You came to realize your dreams. Believe me, you're unlimited. Passions are unlimited.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Margaret, and thank you, our band. Really appreciate you. I failed to mention earlier our youth, though you do not see them in our community, in our sanctuary, they are meeting in the community center. So stop by and from time to time and thank our wonderful teachers in there, Reverend Michelle and as well as Susie. So we're grateful. We're dedicated to building a youth department. Okay, so we just keep that energy going. The wonderful flowers Sherry Nagel donated so that Tara Edwards could create these beautiful flowers for the summer solstice. Isn't this amazing? They're so absolutely beautiful. And we're going to be over there this afternoon. So after you visit and get something free to eat out here in the hospitality table, come over to the booth and honor everyone at Unity. We've had a great team of people that have been helping and supporting, and it's been wonderful having a presence there. So, TJ, you want to talk about the one remaining workshop that people need to attend when they decide not to do any anymore is today.
That's right. That is true.
I thought
so the workshop today is from 12 to 3, and it's Awakening to Your True Nature. We're going to be together in activity, not so much exploring concepts, but really having an experience of what it actually means to move beyond the stories that have kept us feeling stuck so that we can remember who we really be.
Powerful.
Thank you.
Thank you, TJ. Yes. And also, Sherry Nagel, come on down. We're doing the raffle.
Hello there. We still have some tickets for you to buy, so you can enter and win $1,000 cash. I have the winning prize here, ready to give to someone today at 6 o'clock. It could be one of you. So I'll be selling some tickets here for about 15 minutes, and then I got to head over to the booth and get it set up because you'll be here later.
Will we take checks also? Can I write a check?
Checks,
Check,
Square, credit card.
automobiles, boats,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. And Sherry's been a hero for this solstice, I tell you. So really appreciate it. You were given a flyer when you came in. We have gotten organized enough that we have ongoing events. There's guaranteed events each and every month, whether it's Miracle Monday with Jacob Glass or whether it's up and coming this next Tuesday with Amy Batchelor doing the sound healing crystal bowls. What about that? I think we could clap a little better for her. Thank you. Thank you. And coming up, you know, we have a diamond in this group named Catherine Weisenberg. And Catherine is all that and incredible in that she gets divine messages. She's a medium. She is so gifted. And she is doing the Vibrant Living series on July the 5th. And we want to come out and show her how much she matters to us. She's also been leading the prayer team for a long time, and we're very grateful. You want to stand so we can give you some love? Yes. We really, really appreciate who she is and her leadership here within our community, and today she's serving as chaplain as well. We have Rob Working coming on July the 16th and 17th, so mark your calendar on a couple of the courses he's offering. We're already full. So you want to go and check that out on our website and sign up if you have an interest. He is amazing. And last but not least, well, two more things. We have Reverend Michelle teaching the Unity 5 Principles classes. This coming July the 27th. When is that? This coming Tuesday. Thank you. And a lot of people have been asking for Unity classes, and she's going to be offering them. Very grateful for that. Last but not least, we have the summer concert this coming Friday with the Unity Singers. So we are blessed. TJ will be in the back to greet you. And let us all stand and do the peace song, please, and our unity prayer. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with thee. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be our moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin. Let us affirm our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you, everyone. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.